how do you and James Cameron work together? I mean, do you think a project together and then develop them together?
You know, I think there's no one answer to how Jim and I work together. I think, you know, on movies like Avatar, Jim comes up with the ideas, and then, you know, I think it's a collaborative process moving forward. On a movie like Alita, Jim had a responsibility to Avatar that we were doing concurrently, and we sort of took a divide and conquer approach. And Jim was a part of Alita in the critical moments, and it was great to have the fresh eyes. Day in and day out, I dealt with it. So it's this sort of, you know, ongoing relationship, and then there are times with Jim where I need to be the devil in the ear, and other times where I need to be the angel in the ear.
I mean, when you mentioned Avatar, I just have to ask them, what's happening? Do we get to see number 2 next year?
It would be in 2020.
Yeah.
So at the end of the year, and we're all the way through performance capture. We're doing live action filming later this year. Have an incredible cast. Jim has written 4 incredible scripts with a team of people, and we're looking forward to it.
Same cast coming back? So.
We have the same cast, but we're adding on to it. We have Sam and Zoe and Sigourney and Stephen Lang coming back. Kate Winslet has joined the cast. We have other announcements we're going to make shortly. And we have a fine group of young actors who play family members in the movie. And they're from all around the world and bring incredible talent to the films.
It must be exciting working as a film producer now. I'm thinking of Alita, Avatar, etc. When you have to sort of, I mean, use what new technology comes up and say, now we can do that we couldn't do 5 years ago.
Well, what's so exciting about where technology is, it has opened up doors to allow us to tell stories that couldn't be told in the past, in ways that they couldn't be told in the past. And we like to think of ourselves as being the impetus to push technology. Stories need to push the technology, and you don't create stories because the technology exists.
So I mean, this project has been in the works for like 20 years or something?
We've discovered this project through Guillermo del Toro in 1999, and we developed the script for a while, and then Avatar got in the way of Jim directing the movie. So it took us time to find the right person to partner with, and people go, are you glad you waited because of the technology, because of this and that? For us, we're glad we waited because we found Rosa Salazar, because I think Rosa just embodies this character, and no matter what we do with technology or scale or scope, movies come down to the characters in the center of it.
Yeah, exactly. When you talk about her as well, when you see the film, I mean, I found her performance very moving. You can see behind that sort of CGI face, you can see there is humanity in there. You
know, the CGI face is 21st century version of prosthetics. It's still Rosa driving that performance like it would be Marlon Brando in The Godfather. But Rosa brought to it a vulnerability that created accessibility to her character, allowing an audience to go on the journey with her.
How much do you think, because Robert has Rodriguez, I mean, he's known for very violent, cheap, violent films that are often very, very good.
Right.
And I found this, actually, I mean, I think Alita is, when you think of what you do to the cyborgs, it's very violent, a lot of cyborg violence.
You know, I think we're doing violence in a fantasy way. We're doing it to the cyborgs. We're not doing it to humans. You see very little violence to humans. And to me, it was about portraying the action in a very intense manner and hinting at the violence. If you really break it down, there's very little violence. There's no guns. There's no, human guns type of thing. So it's a different type of action that pushes the sense of violence.
Absolutely. I mean, because I think in Sweden it's got a sort of a PG-13 rating.
Right.
And had it been humans, it would have had an R rating.
Exactly. And we were very conscious. And when a cyborg gets hurt, it's not red blood, it's blue blood. It's a very different, science fiction feel to it.
Yeah, it seemed like when you had Lord of the Rings, when they chopped off the head of the orcs, it was black blood. Had it been red blood, it would have been...
That's exactly... And I think what happens for audiences, and for younger audiences in particular, when you take a story and don't play it in their world, it gives you more liberty. They see it as a fantasy. They see Jurassic Park not as a scary place, but as a fascinating place. So when you create Iron City and you're in a world that's not their world, it gives you liberty.
I'm saying, going back to the launch of Avatar 2 next year, are you going to relaunch the first one sort of before that? Because it's been a while since people saw that.
You know, number one, we feel that the new Avatar movies have to stand on their own. They're not going to be movies you have to have seen the first one to enjoy. And when the Fox-Disney merger closes, we'll have conversations with Disney. We would, you know, maybe there's an opportunity for us to go back out there and present, you know, Avatar with the new projection systems that are out there in the theaters and remind people how special the cinema experience can be.
Would you ever consider going back to Avatar and sort of digitally enhance it a little bit due to what's happening in technology in the years?
I've had people who have recently watched Avatar, and to the person, they come and go, I can't tell you how that movie holds up. You would think it was made yesterday.
Yeah. No, I have to rewatch it. It's been many years since I saw it now. So
let me know what you think.
Thank you very much.
No, pleasure. Good seeing you again.